But human beings are complicated and life is rarely black and white. We almost always operate in the gray areas. None of us are perfect, but we try our best to make our relationships perfect, which is why I was looking for a middle ground.
Period.
I know. I love this girl. I wanted to be her best friend. Welcome back to our second Reddit Stories episode in a row.
Yeah, in case you missed it, we're going to do like a whole Reddit Stories month. I'm super excited about it.
Excited about it, too.
It's just a really fun yap every time.
Yeah, and I'm also excited to be back on my side of the table. We've had a lot of guests recently, and I feel back at home over on this side of the table.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I've got these like pointy elbows.
I know, they're dangerous.
Yeah, we talked about sitting in the middle like not too long ago. There was a reason why I sat in the middle. It was because I was spindly and, thin as a kid. But I mean,
Right.
You got to watch out for the wings.
Yes. Yeah. The skinniest one always does get put in the middle. Bless them. But I'm excited about this month. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Summer vacation, little brain vacation, let's just have a good time and talk about what the people are up to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, like when I'm thinking about going on vacation with the fam, which I'm going to be doing soon,
Yes,
super
I'm so
excited for that.
jealous. I'm so happy for you.
You need
not
something
jealous.
to talk about. It's okay to be a little jealous. It's fine.
Yes, you should make your family watch the podcast.
Well, I was going to say that sometimes I need something to talk about with them, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, let's just generate a couple interesting stories here.
If you make them watch the podcast, you don't have to talk. It's like a movie. Shh, pay attention. You're gonna miss something.
This is the best part.
Yeah. Wait, we have to rewind it. All right. So you go first. You're starting us off.
All right, this is an interesting one. Am I overreacting for being upset my sister announced her pregnancy at my graduation dinner? I, 22 female, graduated from university last weekend after honestly one of the hardest few years of my life. I worked part-time almost the entire time I was in school, took care of a lot of responsibilities at home, and basically had no social life because I was so focused on graduating with honors.
Good for you.
Yeah, go, just chase it, right?
Go, OP, period.
Yeah. My parents were really proud and planned a nice family dinner for me at a restaurant. Nothing huge or fancy, just immediate family and a couple close relatives. I was genuinely excited because my family usually doesn't make a big deal out of my accomplishments, so this felt special.
Good.
My older sister, 27 female, has always kind of been the main character in the family. She's louder, more outgoing, and somehow every event becomes about her eventually. I spent years trying not to let it bother me. The dinner actually started off really nice. My parents gave a toast about how proud they were. My aunt brought flowers, and for once, I felt seen.
This is I just knowing where this is going. It's making it worse.
We're set up for tragedy.
Yeah.
Then, right before dessert, my sister suddenly stood up smiling and said, well, since everyone's together,
Since everyone's paying attention to this other person,
I have news too.
Oh.
She pulled out a pair of tiny baby shoes and announced she was pregnant. The entire table exploded. Everybody started crying, cheering, hugging her, taking photos, asking questions, moving seats to sit closer to her, etc., etc.
Okay, that part's weird, but
Within maybe 2 minutes, my graduation dinner completely turned into a pregnancy celebration. Nobody talked about my graduation again the rest of the night. At one point, my mom literally asked the waiter if they could write, "Congrats, Mommy," on a dessert plate for my sister.
Wait, I'm going to ask a waiter for that just because.
Meanwhile, my own graduation cake was sitting untouched at the other end of the table.
Oh, baby, no.
That's devastating.
That is.
I kind of just sat there quietly while everybody focused on her. I tried really hard not to cry because I didn't want to ruin the mood. When we got home, my mom noticed I was quiet and asked me what was wrong. I admitted that I felt hurt that my sister chose my graduation dinner to make her announcement. My sister immediately got upset and said I should be happy for her. Now my family says I'm being selfish and dramatic because a pregnancy is exciting news, and it's not like graduation changes anything. My sister also said I'm too old to care about having attention for one night.
Your sister's not.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
It's the pot calling the kettle black,
Yeah.
right? What hurt the most is I would never do that to somebody else. If it had been her engagement dinner, birthday dinner, whatever, I would have waited for my own moment instead of hijacking theirs. Now I feel guilty for even being upset because everybody is acting like I'm some jealous monster for wanting one dinner to stay about the thing we were supposed to be celebrating. Am I overreacting?
Yeah, absolutely not.
No?
You can tell. This reminds me of the question we had about the girl going through her sister's drawers and stuff in her house where, like, she wanted the key to her house, and her parents were even like, "Just give her the key." And it's like, you can tell the parents in that scenario and in this scenario are just kind of enabling the behavior of the older sister who's, like, more outgoing or whatever she said or OP said. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're not as worthy of attention just because you don't seek it out as much.
Right.
I feel like it's so sad. It's horrible.
Yeah, and to me, it's like it feels malicious. It doesn't.
No, it does.
It feels malicious because it's like she had the baby shoes. Like this was a planned moment. This is something that she like targeted this date, and it's like, oh well, I'll be able to make it all about me right at the end like that. It's kind of shitty.
Yeah, but I mean, I will tell this story. There is somebody who I once knew, and I didn't know them at this time. This was a layer of hearsay in this story, who was not pregnant, but the person that they were with was pregnant. And it, like, the baby might have already been born. I don't know. They don't see the baby anyway. But at their sister's birthday party, supposedly, they were like, oh, also your grandparents, which is like a crazy thing to say. It's giving the same scenario.
Yeah.
So there's more than one person in this world who's like this. That was a younger sibling to an older sibling. But I also think that, like, I'm confused by the sibling competition of it all. I feel like I don't know why you would not want, unless something terribly heinous happened between you two, and it doesn't seem like it did, why you would not want your siblings' accomplishments to be celebrated.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it kind of upset me the way that the parents kind of like
Are on the side.
Oh yeah, it seems like they're on the older sister's side here, and it's like they dismissed the accomplishment. I don't remember if it was the parents who said it exactly, but it was like graduation isn't really that big of a deal or something like that.
I mean,
like
it is. It's you work. What do you go to school for? To graduate.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Exactly. It's like years and years of work building for this one moment.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely not overreacting. This is not the one that we're doing, but sister is the asshole.
Yeah, I would
completely agree. I think that this clearly, I mean, they said it was a pattern. There are certain people who are just like that. And I'm sad that your sister is one of them, because I feel like that takes a big toll on you for other relationships in your life as well.
Yeah, I also hate the thought of like, I don't know. It just feels like you're just turning it around. Like, it's okay. Like, if you're going to do this, that's one thing. It's another thing if you're then going to like attack the person who you were like hijacking the night from. Like, absolutely crazy. And she's like, oh, you're too old to be like feeling like this. Come on.
Yeah, it's like getting engaged at somebody's wedding. That is a whole thing too, like a trope. Like, how could you get engaged at my wedding? You've hijacked it all. I think there are scenarios where, like, maybe this makes sense because everybody is together, right? Everybody who we want to know is together. Like, we want to tell everybody at the same time. And if you were to talk to the person whose party it was and be like, listen, I have this news. I would like to share it here while everyone's together. Is that something you're okay with? And then giving them the opportunity to say yes or no. I think that's totally fine.
I think so too. Especially I'm kind of learning a little bit more about this from a behind the scenes perspective, where it does seem like there's people who are in the know about a pregnancy before it gets announced to the larger public in a sort of situation like this. So why not just like why not let your sister in on the deal?
Yeah.
Right.
That seems like one of the people you would want to tell first, but also it doesn't seem like they have a close relationship anyway.
No, it doesn't. I mean, the older sister, 27, the younger sister, 22. I mean, that's a big enough age gap to where it's like you didn't go to school together. No. Maybe one was the bully. Who knows?
Yeah.
We don't know. A lot of the comments in the same vein, not overreacting. You should never announce your own personal shit at someone else's celebration, no matter what. Not overreacting. I would never do this to someone. This one was my favorite. Not overreacting. Your family sucks. My sister used to pull this crap too. It's too much to ask for one day to be all about you and not your attention-stealing sister. Graduation doesn't change anything. Even animals get knocked up. Like, damn.
That's kind of cold.
It's brutal.
Oh, ow. I mean, I agree. The graduation point of it all, like, I feel horrible that this person feels like they have nobody on their side. We're on your side.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be the odd one out when the family is kind of like turning against one particular person.
My best advice is look for a roommate, maybe somebody whose sister really wants a key to her house and they don't want to give it to her. And maybe you could get a key instead because I feel like you two would really have a lot to discuss.
Birds of a feather for sure.
Yeah, we'll link that episode so you can listen to that story, but it is very similar.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this next one says, am I the asshole for wanting to show up to my daughter's secret proposal while uninvited by her fiance?
Ooh.
My daughter and her boyfriend have been in a relationship for 2.5 years, and her boyfriend asked me for his blessing last week to marry my daughter. He recently called me on the phone and indirectly asked me if I could please not show up to their proposal. I'm conflicted on deciding whether or not to show up to their proposal. I am a single mother to her, and as her father died when she was 2 years old, so I have been a widowed parent to her for 21 years and a parent in general to her for 23 years. I feel that being a single parent holds more of an impact when it comes to my presence at her proposal because if I don't show up, no parent of hers will. I can't discuss this decision with my daughter yet because it would spoil the surprise of her engagement. I know that she would want me to be there for her proposal, but I know it's her fiance's proposal as well, and I don't want to disrespect his wishes. I don't know if it would be wrong of me to show up for my daughter's proposal even though I'm technically uninvited. I feel like I should show up for my daughter because I am an important person in her life, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of event, but I don't know if it's a selfish decision for me to show up uninvited.
There's like so many details I feel like that are missing here.
I
Like,
agree. I feel like this one says the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, it's like vague posting, you know?
Yes.
I mean, if we're just operating on like what we know, I would say you're not the asshole for like just wanting to go to your daughter's proposal. Personally.
Yeah, the real question is wanting to show up. I don't think you're the asshole for wanting to show up.
No.
I think if you do show up when they tell you not to, then we're reaching into the asshole territory.
Yeah, for sure. I think that there's an argument to be made there. But the other thing too is it's just like this is just one of so many other like special moments in the chain, right? Like sure, you have the proposal.
Not graduation.
Not like graduation. Well, I mean, you have the proposal.
That's the most unspecial moment.
You've got like bridal shower, all that sort of stuff, wedding shower.
The wedding.
I mean, you know, there's all the sorts of like the dress fitting and all sorts of like other things along the line to get there. I guess like to me, it's like if you're not going to show up, that means it's going to be like a very public thing, right?
Yeah.
But you know, it's also like not so uncommon for people to not be there, right? Like
no.
So many to me, like it seems like the more common thing is like people have proposals and kind of like a more personal one-on-one type of thing, right? Like you're out on a date, you're out on a vacation, right? And like, what is it? Is he like proposing to her at like a baseball game and he doesn't want her mom to be there?
I don't know. At a public event, he doesn't want her to buy a ticket. I have no idea. I also feel like the proposal of it all, the promposal of it all, I feel like the way that we ask people questions has gone too far. I'm going to say it. I feel like a proposal should be simple and nice and sweet. If somebody's proposing to me, I want to be surprised, but I don't want to be overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that's going on because I feel like it's a private moment. Yeah. I say very single for a long time. But if I were to be proposed to, I don't think I would want a bunch of people around. And I love my mother. I don't think I would necessarily want her around either, but she would probably want to go.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, this is definitely just as vague as it is in terms of the details, it is also like, you know, definitely some gray area in terms of like what is proper here for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I said not the asshole. Is that where I'm going to stay?
Well, let me tell you some of the things that I think people are kind of latching on to in the comments.
Oh, please. Yeah.
What it seems to be what people are focusing on is the sort of backstory of I'm a single mother. Nobody will show up for her if it's not me. I know she would want me there. Like the kind of inserting herself into this situation that's not really about her. And I think that is leading to questions in the comments of like, why would she be uninvited in the first place? And does it have something to do with this making it about me attitude?
Yeah.
I think it's really subtextual here, what people are connecting with.
I mean, I think those inferences make a lot of sense. I mean, why would she not be invited in the first place was a question that I didn't really ask myself.
Mm-hmm. The comments are like, I feel like there's a good reason he had to deliberately ask them not to show up. Why did he give her the details? If he never told how or when, he wouldn't have had to not ask her. So like there's some weirdness there.
It could also easily be the sort of thing too where it is planned as like a more private, intimate moment, but just in a public place where she could just happen to be, right?
Yeah. I think that we need more information here. They're calling her an asshole. I don't know that I would necessarily go that far yet. I think I need more context to make that name calling.
Yeah, I'll give it a TBD officially.
Yeah. I wish there was
say,
an update to this one.
Yeah. I mean, are there any like spicy comments? Anybody like?
I mean, everybody's, if I don't show up, no parent of hers will. That's because parents don't belong at proposal.
Yeah, they belong at the after party, to be fair.
Yeah. Please don't make this about yourself. I'm sure being a single parent must have been difficult, but I hope you're ready to let your daughter have her own life and make her own memories, a lot of them without you. This is an important event for your daughter and your fiance, her fiance. Okay, see, this is why we have trouble reading sometimes as a couple, and they deserve to have their moment by themselves. This one says, you would be the asshole. I think that is the most appropriate
Oh, yes.
response. You would be the asshole if you go.
I think that's fair.
Wanting to go, If you go after being told not to, who wants to go somewhere they're not invited to? Let's be real.
Yeah, that feels pretty terrible.
I was recently not invited to something, and you know what I did? I didn't go.
Yeah, I could definitely see why somebody would you would feel terrible being somewhere you're not invited. It also probably feels bad to not be invited to something like that you want to go to. But also, like, I'm probably with you. Like, I don't need a lot of excuses to stay at home.
Oh, absolutely not. Nobody could invite me to anything ever again, and my feelings would not be hurt. I would be very happy at home.
Oh, yeah.
With my Kindle.
But yeah, playing a little video games, listening to a podcast.
Yes.
It's a good time.
Absolutely.
Well, speaking about hanging out at home, we've got this one. Am I overreacting for not wanting to give my stepdaughter the room I finished renovating? In 2017, my husband and I bought a house. Initially, Susan, now 16, was assigned room A. However, after a week of living in there, she started complaining that she could hear sounds from the neighbors next door who were partying a lot of the time. She also didn't like that her window faced a forest, and besides the neighbor's house, all she could see was darkness and trees in the night.
This sounds like a disaster scenario.
It sounds like the worst thing that's ever happened to a 16-year-old. We ended up moving her to room B. Room A has been empty ever since, turning it into a bit of a storage room. At the end of last year, I decided to take care of it, and using my own savings, I did a huge renovation. Replaced the windows, soundproofed the walls, etc., etc. I also bought new furniture, painted, laid a carpet, replaced a lamp. Now it looks like a really cozy library, office, living room space, and I love it. But Susan isn't happy.
Oh my God.
As soon as
the 16-year-old's name is Susan?
The 16-year-old's name is Susan.
That feels wrong, but continue.
Yeah. As soon as I started renovating, she started demanding that I give her the room back. Suddenly, she started claiming that her own room was too small. It's bigger than mine and my husband's, for context, and the same size as our other two children's rooms. She also said she hated that all that she could see through the new bedroom window was a brick wall, and that it wasn't fair that I'd taken a room for myself that had its own walk-in closet and so on.
You had it, girl, and you wanted the brick wall, so...
You had this nice idyllic view of the forest, and you wanted to give that up. My husband is on her side, but I think it's unfair. My husband has 2 rooms in the basement to himself. One he converted into a gym and the other into a home office. Children, 7 female, 12 male, and Susan, again, 16 female, have larger rooms than us, and much of the garden and main living room are converted for their needs. Furthermore, neither my husband nor Susan's mother paid a penny for the entire renovation. I did everything myself. So I told my husband that if he cared so much, he could give Susan one of his rooms, but neither he nor Susan liked that idea, and now they're both mad at me. Am I overreacting?
No, I mean, this is kind of like, I think last episode we had one where it was like, what is everyone doing? This kind of feels like a what is everyone doing? But this is also classic 16-year-old behavior. I don't want that. Wait, now it looks good. Now I do. You
exactly.
know, like that's not surprising to me at all. But I will say I want to take a moment to discuss the being able to hear the neighbors. Because for the first year or so of living, I live in a townhouse on the inside of other townhouses. For the people I know, you know this, you've been there. But one of my neighbors would play music so loud until like 4 o'clock in the morning. And like my
Ooh.
head of my bed is on the wall that we
Yeah.
share. And it was just horrendous. So I get wanting to leave that situation. Eventually my neighbor stopped that, which we're cool now. But I get wanting to leave that and move rooms. What I don't understand is like, I guess the easiest answer at that time was just have her move rooms, but like why would we not try to soundproof it then or whatever? I guess she didn't like the forest. I don't know. It seems like Susan's never going to be happy. She just wants something shinier. And maybe if you, what I would do is say, Susan, would you like us to do some fun things to your room that you already have? Some of the renovation stuff, have her dad pay for it this time?
Yeah.
Be like, we can do this together. Maybe you can bond and make the room look cooler than the office.
Maybe we could make a nice painting and put it outside on the brick wall.
Yeah, maybe we could make a painting of a forest and you could look at that through the window. We'll take a picture of the view from the other bedroom and screen it onto your window so it'll always look like that.
Yeah, I really don't like the behavior of the dad in this scenario. Just like, oh, just give her what she wants. And then it's like, oh, well, I mean, you've got 2 rooms. Because that's the kind of thing, right? Is it kind of seems like this is like the mom's one space because of like the living room and everything else is kind of for the children.
And
whereas,
this is the stepmom, right?
It's the stepmom for Susan. It seems like they have 2 children together, if I'm to draw conclusions from this post.
Okay.
But yeah, that sort of being the idea. And maybe there's like some of that feeling where it's like she still looks at her as like a stepchild, whereas like he's kind of thinking about the family as a whole. So maybe that's kind of where that feeling comes from. But also like if that's how you feel, like why would you not make accommodations? Give her one of your 2 rooms, you know? You can have a gym / home office in one room.
You can do both.
Yeah.
A room that can do both.
Yeah.
I think that it's also a kind of impossible scenario to put the step-parent in. I don't care how long the step-parent has been in the child's life. That sense of authority in relationship is just different.
Yeah.
And if I understand why they say that they like feel really alone for that, because how are they supposed to deal with this child who's ultimately is not their child?
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to parent them.
It is, you know, I think about like one of the closest analogies to me in the situation is like teachers, right? Teachers deal with children who they have like very close personal relationships with in a lot of ways, like, but they have to like, they're like removed in a way where it's just like, it has to be like a very like sort of courteous and professional relationship. And it kind of seems like step parenting is like the same way. And I mean, you know,
the teacher of it. Yeah, it is. I think the relationship is very similar.
And of course, you know, I'm happy, you know, like my, you know, my brother-in-law is like stepfather to my sister's children. And like, they all have like very, very close relationships and they seem like they're really, well adjusted and connected as a family. But also like, I don't really know if that's the exception or the rule.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the relationship.
Yeah.
I have step parents, but by the time the step parents arrived, like I was already an adult. So I feel like I never really got to experience that day-to-day life thing. My brother did, so maybe I should ask him. But I'd still say that for him specifically, like our parents are the people who parent him. Like the step parents will pick him up and make him food and that kind of stuff, like provide for him. But they're not going to be the one to tell him you're in trouble for doing something wrong, you know? So I don't know. I will say you reminded me though, a friend of mine was a teacher and she quit teaching because a kid bit her. And apparently he had bit everybody else too. But like, what do you do when the kid bites you and has bit every other teacher on the hallway? How are you supposed to manage that? Yeah. Bless her. She managed it by no longer teaching.
So, I mean, the top comment here, I think the bigger concern is why does nobody seem to care that you're taking up as little space as possible? Finally taking a room for yourself and now being asked for more.
Yeah, that's kind of tea.
Yeah, totally. Not really a reaction here to be called overreacting, but either way, no. I default to, no, this is my office now. You gave up this room and you have your own.
Yeah.
And every time she brings it up, that question has already been asked and answered, and it is not up for discussion. You just got to lay down the law sometimes, right?
Yeah, this is my room. That is your room. If you want to get another room, you're not going to get it from me.
Yeah. Susan thinks it isn't fair that you took a room for yourself in a house that you own. It's pretty bratty behavior, even for a 16-year-old.
Yeah, in a house that you own that she specifically said she didn't want. It's kind of like, I don't know, you miss out. It's like you quit gambling just before you hit a big.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, to be fair, it's the sort of thing where it seems like this woman is kind of just like has made a lot of accommodations for her family and her stepfamily. And this was going to happen either in this room or the other smaller room
That's what I think.
at one point or another.
I think when something was shiny and new, no matter what happened, what room it was, she was probably going to want it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think the best course of action is to do something with her and help her with her own room. You know, if you did it all yourself, it can't be that hard.
I think that's a good compromise.
Yeah. Well, this has turned into the daughter episode because this one is a stepdaughter story too. So, am I the asshole for not contributing to the tuition fee? Hello, everyone. I like that they said hello to us.
Hey.
I am 48 years old. My husband has a daughter from his first marriage. She is 22. She never wanted to have a relationship with me, and I have always been careful with her. I never tried to be her mother. I always stayed in my lane and kept things respectful. Our relationship was always distant, but fine. Coming to the point, she wants to go to grad school. My husband saved a specific amount for this purpose. It was meant for a local university, but she suddenly changed her mind. She applied to an expensive school, which my husband claims that he doesn't know, and got in. The tuition there is double what my husband saved, and he told her clearly that it is out of his budget. She did not seem to care too much about it, and she just expected the money to appear. This stressed my husband a lot, so my husband had been discussing the tuition gap. I have some personal inheritance money that I keep separate. I have saved this to buy a house together. My husband has asked me if I could cover the difference for his daughter, and I told him no. I did not feel it was my responsibility as we had agreed to keep this part separate. I could see how he was stressed out about it, so I agreed to think about it, but I believe he talked to his sister at one point and told her about our conversation. 2 days later, my sister-in-law told the daughter that I was paying for the school. The daughter called me out of nowhere. She was suddenly very warm and thanked me over the phone. I was completely confused. I told her straight out that there was a misunderstanding. I told her I am not paying for it. The call suddenly went cold, and the conversation felt it went from 0 to 100 suddenly. She said she always knew I did not care about her future. She said I was hoarding money just to be cruel. She went on a rant and mentioned how I am controlling her with the money. A few choice words were said, and I called her entitled. I feel completely blindsided. She only showed me warmth when she thought she was getting my money, but she has ignored me for years before this. Now my husband is acting quiet, and he says he understands my choice, but his silence feels heavy. I can tell he expects me to just cave and pay it to keep the peace. My sister-in-law made a mess, and now I look like a villain. I have the funds, but the entitlement makes me sick. I refused to back down during the argument and told her she needs to grow up. What should I do, or is there a middle ground in this?
First, the thing that jumps out at me the most is the sister. I mean, it really is the sister episode, isn't it? Like, oh my gosh, like that's the sort of thing where it seems to me, as somebody who has these details, that she planted the seed to like back this woman into a corner.
Yeah.
You know, told the daughter, oh, she's going to do it. And then
she would feel, she seems like a very quiet, thoughtful person, Opie does. So she probably was like, well, my sister-in-law will feel like, you know, because I said this, she won't want the confrontation of saying no, and then she'll just pay for it. Exactly. That's kind of what I feel like.
Yeah, she'll do it to keep the peace, right? Yeah, I agree on that. Like, that seems like a dirty trick. And so, like, are you the asshole? Not necessarily. I don't think so in that context. I think that they're you know, depending on like what words were said, maybe you could be the asshole for that. I mean, it's the same sort of thing where it's like, this is, you know, a child for all intents and purposes, like young adult, whatever.
Grad school.
But yeah,
they're an adult.
Look, I'm 34 and the first 30 years of childhood are the hardest, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But ultimately, yeah, I mean, depending on what words were said, you could be the asshole there. I think, is there a middle ground? Yeah. Give her a little bit of money. I'm not saying you have to blow your whole inheritance on it. Yeah. No, that would be, I mean, I think maybe foolish if your goal is to buy a house. You know, you kind of need to save up a lot for that, but it doesn't mean you can't throw like a little bit into the pot.
Just to compromise.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can contribute a little bit without, you know, breaking the bank, and, you know, it still puts some responsibility on the child or the grad students, yes. I suppose, rather, to, you know, go out and like find a way to get the rest of the money. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I mean, paying for college is hard, but like people do it,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I'm
Like
paying for it with loans right now,
exactly.
baby. Loans forever.
You can get loans, you can work, you can like work at school, try and get like some money, like a stipend or something like that, kind of help
Yeah.
for all that sort of stuff. So I think that like it is good to like establish that that is the expectation, and it sucks that, the grad student didn't expect this. Obviously, they were expecting it to kind of cover the whole thing when they had this money set aside, but, times are tough.
Well, they expected it to cover the whole thing at a different school. They
Right.
didn't even tell people supposedly that they
Oh,
were
right.
applying
Yeah,
to
the
this
change
one.
school. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in this she says a few choice words were said and she said she was entitled. I think that I don't even know if that's necessarily an insult in this scenario, like it's not like a couple episodes ago where somebody was like, and I hate you and I don't want my daughter to be named after you and you're ugly, like it's not like that. Like
Spoiled brat.
this girl really does feel entitled to this woman's money. And I think maybe if they had a relationship, it could be something different. But if you have no relationship with somebody, you have applied to this, like you have a plan and the plan is covered, and then you deviate from the plan without really telling anybody that you're doing it, and you just do it for whatever reason. And then you expect everybody to just make it work for you. I mean, that is entitled. I feel
Absolutely.
like that's
Yeah. I
wrong.
mean, that is definitely the operator here. Like the whole idea of like, it was for a public college. Instead, I'm going to go to like private school or I'm going out of
I
state,
feel
whatever
like
it was.
she's probably from another country. I don't know. Tuition fee, some of the ways that she phrased some of this, I feel like it's not American,
Mhm.
but it's all kind of the same.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But like, it's one thing to like make those changes and be like, I'm going to figure it out. It's another thing to make those changes and be like,
You're gonna
everybody else
figure it
is going
out.
to figure it out for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really where the key issue is here.
I agree.
So we have an update.
Ooh.
Yes. So update, am I the asshole for not contributing to the tuition fee? She says, I posted here because I felt lost. My gut told me to stand firm, but seeing my husband stressed made me feel bad. His daughter is a good student, and having the means to help made me second guess everything. I posted since she was supposed to visit in person after the phone call, and I needed help handling the meeting. The response was overwhelming. It stressed me out more when strangers questioned my marriage and claimed my husband was using me. I logged out in a panic. I gotta thank Reddit for letting me read comments anonymously. Haha. She included the haha. My husband noticed how I was looking at my phone continuously, so I just handed him the phone. He took a long time to read through it all. I watched his face change. He looked up at me and apologized sincerely. I know many people in the comments were judging him harshly, but they do not know the ins and outs of our daily life. He has mostly been supportive and a loving partner to me. He was wrong for dragging me into this mess and expecting me to pay, but human beings are complicated and life is rarely black and white. We almost always operate in the gray areas. None of us are perfect, but we try our best to make our relationships perfect, which is why I was looking for a middle ground.
Period.
I know. I love this girl. I wanted to be her best friend. We had a long talk. No other daughter in his family has gone to grad school and X can't afford. He wanted more for her, but she applied abroad without asking. He felt trapped between his promise and his budget, which is why he mentioned that he leaned on me. We discussed my inheritance as well. Our current apartment is in his name, but I paid for renovations. Again, that's wow. The girls always pay for the renovations, people. We agreed our next house will be in my name and he will pay for renovations. I even made him agree to help build the garden I always wanted. Haha. Before she arrived, I called my sister-in-law. My husband only told her he asked me for help. She claimed that when the daughter ranted, she just mentioned he was talking to me. She got defensive when I said it was not her place to share a private business, but she swore she never said I agreed to pay. She loves drama, so I am not sure, but I dropped it for now. When the daughter arrived, she acted completely normal. My husband stopped her immediately. He made it clear his savings were all she was getting. He suggested she take loans against family insurance policies in her name or even work to cover costs. She looked at him like he had 3 heads at the thought of working. Then she lost control, screaming and calling us names. She said she was disappointed in him and claimed I corrupted him. It got toxic, so I asked her to leave. My husband was too stunned to speak. He is still visibly shaken this morning. I will be spending time with family. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who commented and defended me. I never expected this attention. It made me emotional. And I do not have a large family, so your kindness means everything. Heart.
Aw. Well, what a thorough and like I love that update
I
so
know, I
much.
feel like we got to be a part of the whole story, you know, instead of like just the very beginning. We finally got to see how it ended.
Yeah, we got all the details. It's also like, to me, it's almost like Cinderella because we've got the evil stepsister or the evil stepdaughter, rather, who's like revealed her true colors at the end, like doesn't want to work, just wants everything handed to her.
It is kind of giving Cinderella. And I mean, I like that he read the Reddit and was able to see everything from a different perspective from the Reddit. Like, see all of the comments, which were a lot. We're just saying, I mean, basically what we said, that the daughter is kind of actually being entitled. She could work.
Yeah.
This one says she's 22, not 18. Grad school is a different age. Me, I'm a 29-year-old child though, so I get it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like OP just seems like such a nice, genuine person. And I'm glad that calmly was able to resolve this situation and like keep a bond with her
Yeah,
daughter.
absolutely. And I mean, it seems like it is, if nothing, like it seems like it might even strengthen the bond between her and her partner.
think
I love
so.
that. It also seems too like, you know, if you have to think about like the sort of origin of the post, like she felt bad because she ultimately wants her stepdaughter to succeed and be happy.
Of course,
right?
but it's not. Nobody should ever feel like they're entitled to your money. And on the flip side of that, you should never feel like anybody owes you anything.
Yeah, I mean, money is stressful for everybody, even for the people who have it. And
Yeah.
so, like, I can totally understand all sides of this, but like, man, just like the crazy, like the demon coming out when like it's like,
is.
oh my god, that is wild. But
It
yeah,
is giving demon. Speaking of demon, have you seen The Burrows on Netflix?
I
Or any
haven't,
of the
no.
promo for it?
No.
I was watching it. My mom turned it on, I guess on Saturday night,
Mm-hmm.
Sunday night. I don't know. And I was like, this feels like Stranger Things for adults. You know, it's produced by the Duffer Brothers.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, it literally is. Spoiler alert if you're going to watch it. I think this is like episode 5. This is not that big of a spoiler.
Yeah.
But they're in some tunnels underground looking for a monster. I'm like, I've seen this show before.
This is just like how every Wes Anderson movie is about like, oh, my dad doesn't love me and isn't really involved in my life.
Well, the other thing is like this takes place in a retirement community. So it's like it really is for old people. And I think some people had written this story in advance before the Duffer Brothers came on. So like this isn't their writing. I'm sure they had some hand in it though. But it is funny to me, like to imagine they got so tired of working with those dang kids. They're like, give us some old people.
I just love the thought of them being in the writer's room like, huh,
What are we gonna do?
what if there was a tunnel?
Right. What if there was a whole grid of tunnels? Yeah.
And
you
it
would
was-
probably like it.
Oh, I probably would.
It's pretty interesting.
Actually, I'm watching the newest game of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's really good. Yeah, I'm enjoying
Big Bang
that.
Theory Game of Thrones spinoff.
Yeah, young Sheldon of the Big Bang Theory.
No, George and Mandy's first marriage.
Oh, right. Yes.
Big Bang Theory of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones twice removed.
Yes,
basically.
exactly.
Yes.
To the log. Game of Thrones to the third power. I don't know.
I like it though. The thing that really I like about it is that the other two Game of Thrones shows are about the people who rule this fantasy world, and like this is a show more about like just the regular people.
Oh, that's nice. You know, it's always good when the regular people get a spotlight.
Exactly.
Like a
yeah.
podcast.
Hey.
They're just like us for real.
Oh yeah, and hey, if you want to be just like us for real, reach out to us at Wavestream Media. We can make your podcast dreams come true.
That's so true.
And you could be, instead of a normal person, you could be a normal person with a podcast.
And why would you not want that?
I don't know.
This episode was really fun. This was stepdaughters and daughters and sisters and all of the girlies kind of losing it a little bit.
Yeah.
It seems.
Look, shout out women. They
Yes.
are always extremely interesting to talk about.
They are. And shout out to stepdaughters and sisters because I'm both. And that just makes you doubly interesting or maybe predisposed to chaos. I don't know.
For sure. Shout out to my sisters. I'm extremely thankful that y'all aren't predisposed to chaos.
And shout out to my brother because I'm sorry that I am.
Yeah. Shout out Walt. Love you, Walt.
Well, we'll see you next week with another one.
Looking forward to it.
Bye.
That's it for this dive. Thanks for being here. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at wavestream.media. And if you want a podcast like this one, or totally not like this one, visit our website, wavestream.media. See you soon.